Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Questing for Glory. Hope and Healing 2, speedrunning charity marathon in support of NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. I'm your host, Gaggle Geese. We got a great gem of a game coming up here in the Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster. We have Poorscythe running this game for us, deln, and they will be taking you through this game start to finish in a very fast time. Before I hand it over to Poorscythe, I just want to let you know that the bid wars are now closed for the naming because it happens right at the beginning of the game. So we have Diablo font that won with $10 donations. So thank you very much for the person who donated for the Diablo font. You got your wish. We'll be starting off, closing off all of these names, but I'll go ahead and pass it over to Poorscythe. Please keep all your donations in. Remember, we still got prizes available. We got a bunch of Kingdom Hearts prizes coming up, and as always, we still have that one bid war that's going on for the next game.
Well, good morning, everyone. I am Poorscythe. I'll also say good afternoon to those of you watching from Europe, and good evening, I guess, to those on the Japanese restream. I'm Poorscythe. I've been running this almost since it came out, and I am joined by deln, who will introduce himself as well.
Hello, I'm deln. I've also been running this game since it came out. And yes, now what you said the names were cut off?
Yes, all the donation for the different names are cut off at this point. So I'll run through them one by one. We're going to be naming Guy German, Germen. They won with $50. Leon is going to be named SQU, capital S. They won by $1 over Dio. Very close bid race there. We are going to be naming Maria Maya, which is Maia. And Furyon will be named Cat Dan. They won with a bid of $50. So thank you very much for all those who donated.
Cat Dan gets me every time.
There must always be a Dan. Someone must know me, because I do have a cat named Dan.
All right.
There must always be a Dan.
Yeah, might as well start the run now since there's a little cutscene going on at the beginning. So.
Okay, Ice, do you want to count us down then?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
All right, we'll come to FF2. FF2, not the most popular game of all the Final Fantasy games.
Wait, what? Sure.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've been told, right? I've been told that this game was not very good. But hey, we're here to prove them wrong.
Yeah, but I also heard that Final Fantasy VII was good, and I disagree with that. So, opinions are opinions here.
Yes, they are.
Oh man, there's been I mean, people might be familiar. Myself and deln both ran FF2 PSP, and until this came out, that was, I believe, the fastest version. Although I think GBA has since beaten it.
Yes, GBA was the fastest version after PSP, I believe. And
this one has now become the fastest version, hasn't it?
Oh,
This
yes.
is now the fastest version. That so many things that you may be familiar with from other speedruns of FF2 are no longer here. They've changed so many mechanics, and just the way the game plays out is entirely different. But we're still going to be punching things. We're still going to be tossing tomes. All of your old favorites are still here.
So, first thing first, the story of the game starts with Castle Finn being invaded by the Empire, and after being crushed, your 4 characters, Cat Dan's party gets ambushed by 4 knights, which kills them all in one hit. And for some reason now we are alone in an unknown place that we have yet to know, which is the refuge of the Resistance, Altair. But now we only see German and is it Maya? And we don't see her last character, so we don't know what happened to him just yet. But here we meet the Princess Ilda, the quote-unquote leader of the Resistance. And now this is where the game gets a little bit confusing, because to get through the game, you'd have to talk to the NPCs. They tell you, oh yeah, you should probably go there. You should probably do this, do that. But we don't really have time for that, so most of the story is going to be a little bit out of. I mean, not the story. Most of the text box will make almost no sense. But right now, we're going right away to Finn. Normally, if you talk to Minhu tells you that you should go to Finn and see Scott or find Scott. I mean, he doesn't tell you to find Scott, but you'll find Scott there.
One of the major changes that you'll notice in this speedrun, or in this game in general, and with all the Pixel remasters, is that now there's diagonal movement, which is really, really nice. Just for step, there's not really step routing anymore, since we're encounters are just kind of random, it feels. And we also haven't figured out if there actually is a step route. But you're gonna see both the runners here, leveling the fist levels on both Maya and German. And we want to try and get to level 3, level 4 fists before the end of the first dungeon, Semet Falls.
The other big change to this one is the introduction of auto battle. So we can now input commands and then press a button to essentially instruct our characters to repeat those commands over and over again.
It's a very nice feature to have for
excellent quality of life feature, and for any new players of FF2 who are not familiar with it, this is probably going to be the best casual version for you to start on if you want to. And even for speedrunners that may want to jump in, this is probably the easiest version to learn as well. So there are a lot of benefits here, and there's a lot of the things that knowledge you would need to know for other versions of the game don't apply to this one. Notably, there's no step counting, there's a lot of the encounters that used to be unrunnable are now runnable, so that you just don't need as much as you used to.
Speaking of, if you're attempting and you wanna learn this game as a speedrun, both of our runners here, Deln and Poorscythe, have a fantastic guide. So if you're interested in learning, they both have a guide written for this game.
Yes.
We'll be using slightly different routes with it. Mostly the same, but we'll be using some slight differences between our routes.
Yes, you're going to take extra items where I will not.
Oops.
So in a way, you make some parts a lot easier, but it's mostly Cypher, I'd say. Sorry, I'm still using open mic, so if you hear my joysticks, don't mind too much about it, because in this game, the best way to advance text is by rotating the analog sticks, which advance text really fast.
You also may have noticed that Scott just fell out of the bed and died, and the game's fanfare just played. The game, I guess, didn't really care about Scott. We took his ring, he died right in front of us, and then hooray! I guess.
Anyways.
Oh, no!
Oh,
anyway.
no, anyways. Yeah, so there's not much after this part with Scott. We have to return the ring back to Altair. So we're just backtracking the town at the moment.
Yeah, basically what Scott told us is that, you know, he's not gonna make it. He wanted you to tell Hilda something, but he changed his mind. So he hands you his ring, and that's basically gonna basically tell Hilda that you're cut out to join the resistance for the Empire, or I guess against the Empire.
I do see a suggestion in chat to play in Wingdings. That font does actually exist.
Comic Sans.
dream is alive.
Lord have mercy. Comic Sans.
Comic Sans, you can do that.
I think I would rather just Alt F4 the game. Alt F4 the game.
Well, luckily it wasn't even on the list. It was Breath of the Wild, Final Fantasy VI, Wild Arms, or obviously the one that won, Diablo.
Yeah, I don't know about playing Comic
I would
Sans.
do-
Comic Sans.
I would do a run with Mr. Saturn font. I would do a run.
I'm not sure about that one though.
I mean,
No, I
I
mean-
I do run Earthbound, so kind of used to it.
Alright, so you saw me just now pick up the Dreadnought keyword. In this game, most stuff will work based on triggers that you do beforehand. Like right now, getting Minhu in the canoe makes it so Ilda gives you the Dreadnought keyword, or at that moment can give you the Dreadnought keyword, and is going to be used very soon. Not right now, but in a bit.
And I promise you, there's no runner out there that's ever forgotten the Dreadnought keyword. Nobody.
Nah, nobody.
Not a soul.
That's why we're here. We're here just to find new and entertaining ways to screw things up for you guys that we've never done before.
Ugh. Okay, well, I just wasted 100 gil. It's not so bad.
Did you
Yeah, that
accidentally
happens.
click on Bafsk?
Yes, I did.
I always have to. Yeah, I always pause there because I do that all the time and I hate that.
That's
So
fine.
yeah, this section of the game, we're going to be giving Sid a lot of our money for multiple airship rides. It saves a lot of time on just traversing the overworld at the moment. And we want to try and avoid as many encounters as possible. We do still want to take encounters because we do want to level up Maya and Gurman's, fist levels here. We want them to be 4 by the end of this dungeon for the boss.
I am not having a lot of luck here. I mean, I did get a pretty nice fight, but in this game, enemies, and I say nearly every enemy, can flee from the encounter. And that's terrible if you're trying to level up Fist to level 4, like we're trying to do. Because then you're just wasting time and wasting a fight.
Yeah, early on, we don't want enemies to flee because the way that leveling your weapon proficiencies work in this game, enemies have a certain tier level, and everything right now is just tier 1, and to get say if your fist levels are level 3, we need to perform the attack action 3 times with our fists in order to gain experience towards the next proficiency level. So both Maya and Gurman are both sitting at Fist 3, and so you'll see both of our runners here just defending with everybody except for one character and getting those attacks in so we can level up the proficiency levels.
I just had a bomb enemy on my screen explode and kill my things. That's going to be a common theme probably in this run, is to watch bomb-style enemies ambush us and explode on us for obscene amounts of damage.
I mean, you could say it's a blast.
Can we pick the common? No, we're not.
Look, Look, escort me out as many times as you need to. I'll find ways back in. It's like that Simpsons meme with Barney.
Mm.
And Mo throws him out of the tavern.
Boo
You've
that
seen
man.
a couple seconds earlier, and right here, there's going to be also another common theme of having a lot of empty room, or rooms that have a lot of doors, and only one really lead to the to where you really want to go, and the others are just an empty room that just gives you a bunch of encounters. Oh god.
Y'all both have the same exact encounter right now.
Oh no.
Like,
Goddamn, dude.
to the T. Same exact
Chances of
encounter.
that.
Goddamn, what is happening? Do not kiss the floor like that.
To explain a bit more about like why we're choosing to use, I guess, fists and swords specifically, there are a number of weapon category choices that we could use in this game, and each one of them levels up independently. So there's no traditional experience for our characters. Enemies don't give us experience, and we don't gain levels. What does happen is our skills gain proficiency as we use them in combat, and it's independent for each different weapon type and spell in the game. We're not going to be spells mostly because leveling spells just unfortunately takes too much time and resources to do compared to weapons and just using tomes as a substitute. And we use fists because it's cheap and freely available at the start, and for the most part is either on par or better than other weapon types.
Somebody in chat said Minwoo is the best permanent party member, and I disagree with that. It's definitely Layla.
Permanent party member? Excuse me?
Layla should have been a permanent party member.
Well, I mean, poor Leon, I guess.
Well, she left FF2 and she went to FF5. So
Joseph is better than Minwoo? I don't know about that. Minwoo at least doesn't get ran over by a boulder. Spoiler alert, by the way.
Oh, calm down now.
Did I ruin the whole plot? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, you did. Well, I mean, it's going to be a common theme in this game where everybody just,
Oh, I like that pun. Joseph rocks. Beautiful. Joseph,
Right.
You could say Joseph was on a roll.
Yeah, Minhu is a guy. It may not
love for
look like it.
Gordon?
Yes.
Yeah, no love for Gordon at all. Gordon is the worst character in the game.
No, it's the hardest boss fight in the game. I don't know what you're talking about. Ooh, I got a nice drop.
Oh, did you get the battle axe?
The Mithril Axe.
Ooh. Yeah, so from that boss fight, we want to see that Mithril Axe drop as opposed to the money or the mace drop. The Mithril Axe, I believe, sells for about 500 gil.
I believe so, 400.
Everything
Very,
else
very
just
useful.
kind of sells for nothing.
So yeah, we're fighting a lot of enemies here. We're killing pretty much everything on the way because we need money. We need as much money as we can for the first tier 2 Salaman in a little bit, so we can buy life tomes and a bunch of potions.
Yeah, we want to be able to get as much money as we possibly can. We want to be able to get HP levels on all of our characters so they can kind of, not get sneezed on and perish later on in the game. Once we get through the snow cave, which is a fantastically named dungeon, by the way, just a snow cave, we're gonna start fleeing from encounters after we exit the snowfield, and that'll be pretty much the last you'll see us fight, other than boss encounters.
Also, this is the first time you see it, but the Queen Bee can be a very annoying enemy because a hit gives you venom, and that's just an extra menuing to remove it, since that is an out of combat status effect. And yes, this game has in combat and out of combat status effect, which can be very annoying to deal with.
the other big thing that is changed and is actually a basis of this route that a lot of people may not realize is that they have altered on-hit status effects from enemies and weapons that you pick up. They now have 100% hit rate. So if an enemy has the ability to blind us or poison us when they attack us, we're not going to resist that. That's going to poison or blind us. And we're going to abuse the crap out of that by picking up a couple of very specific swords later on in this run and trying to essentially just lock bosses down. In my game, oh my god, I thought it crashed for a second.
It's especially scary when we get to like Mysidia Cave and we encounter cockatrices, and they have Stone Touch.
Stone Touch.
And
The best ability, dude.
and they are fast.
And finding softs in a lot of the Final Fantasy games is a time save.
Yeah, I mean, we typically pick up about 5 to 10 gold needles in the run, just for safety measures. But like the encounter is just it's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Stun
you can
Touch
get
is probably
ambushed
the
a
worst.
lot. Yeah, you can get ambushed by them a lot, though. I don't know if 10 is a safe number, but sometimes you can use more than that.
Yeah, it just depends on your encounter luck.
Now I bought a boat to Bask. So this early part, we're just fighting enemies, again, for money and skills going on, and also trying to get... by taking actions in combat, we have a chance to increase our character's stats. They can be raised in combat at the end of a successful combat, which is why you don't see us fleeing necessarily. We also don't get any money or anything if we flee early. So we're just going to fight everything, because another big change in this version is the Snowcraft game that was in the GBA and PSP versions has been removed in this version. So we no longer have access to an extremely quick and easy and repeatable money-making game. So we have to make up for that.
Yet this version is still faster somehow.
And yet it's still faster. It's funny how that works out.
Just haven't
I'm gonna guess
broken
it's
the
all
economy
because
yet.
of that on-hit effect being 100%. Well, even without that, I think you can still almost beat every other game, like time-wise.
We did that. We're just shaking these goblins down for money. At least that's what I'm doing right now, because they have a lot of money compared to the other enemies that we can have right now.
Yes, so every enemy have a set number of drops, and money is no exception, except that it is not always the same. They all have set numbers, so I believe the highest you can get here is 75 from those.
Yeah, the
Well,
goblins could be, I think, anywhere between like 7 gil and 75. It's a weird number.
Oh, I've had like 3 gills, I think, from one of them at some point.
I think then it should be between 3 and 75.
It's pretty bad. It can be pretty bad, but right now the money situation is not.
Oh no, that's not a good ambush for Poorscythe's side.
See, one topic about the font mods in the chat. I just want to address something before we go too much farther into this. For those that are familiar with the speedrun of FF or any of the Pixel remasters, font mods are actually not allowed for the leaderboards here. For this exhibition charity marathon, we offered a choice of it here. But if you are serious about speedrunning it or getting a time on a leaderboard, just know that font mods are disallowed. But they are excellent for casual play, and a lot of these look and sound fantastic.
Well, now you piqued my curiosity. Is there a reason why they're not allowed on the leaderboards?
We just have a blanket no modifications rule, which
That makes
includes
sense.
font modifications.
Yeah, anything that might mess with the graphics.
It's unfortunately it's not popular with the community because they really want to use font mods,
They
and
want
I
to
don't
use their
blame them.
mods. Yeah.
It also like kind of boils down to like there's a possible chance that the font could make it like text boxes larger which would basically add more, text boxes to your game, or it can make it smaller and you can reduce the amount of text boxes. There's just a lot of stuff that we just don't know with the font mods and everything so far.
Yeah, it could be a mod that changes the font and mess with the game files at the same time. You just never know. More saved this way.
Speaking of money, though, I do have a couple of donations that came in here.
This is a great time. Go ahead.
I got actually a whopping $150 donation from Zero Bake H. They said, "Thank you to everyone behind the scenes making another Questing for Glory possible. So happy to see the work with NAMI continuing this year. This is going towards that super boss. Let's devour the incentive." So thank you very, very much. That's a very generous donation. And that should actually put Zero Bake H in the running for all of the upcoming prizes that we have. Actually, if anybody in the audience wanted to donate, now's the time, because just for $10 it puts you into all the prize incentives that we have left for the rest of the marathon. And we have a $10 donation from Andy K with no comment, and another $25 anonymous donation. So thank you very much for those donations. We really appreciate it. If you could keep on rolling them in, we'd definitely appreciate the help.
Yeah, definitely get those donations in for all these incentives that we got coming up, especially like your Chrono Trigger incentives. You definitely want to. I see a lot of these names, and they're renaming all the characters the other like other characters like Ayla Frog. So yeah, you definitely want to confuse everybody.
Perfectly not confusing.
So we didn't get a chance to say it on Poorscythe's side, but deln. So we're gonna come in here before we head back to Altair, but we're also gonna talk to Sid here and pick up a couple of keywords. We need that Sunfire keyword when we head to Altair, because we're gonna need the Sunfire keyword to speak to the king, who is gonna give us yet another keyword to access the next part of the story.
Yes, and I don't talk with it by experience by saying that I've, forgot getting those keywords before.
Nobody's ever forgotten the keywords. Nobody. We discussed this.
Can't forget plot triggers.
We also have never visited the Altair Church either.
No, that's not gonna happen. As I say that, I probably will.
Delna reset before it happens again.
Yes, I will reset if I have to, but I'm never visiting that place ever again. So now we go talk to Ilda. Ilda tells us that, the king has fallen hill and everything, the attack of the Dreadnought.
And
Right.
Minwoo decides to leave the party.
Thank you for that, Minwoo. Very, very useful. We use him to heal before leaving, so we can actually keep our HP as high as possible, because now we don't have access to a heal.
Yeah, now we're pretty much relying on potions at this point to heal.
Potions? Where are those? I don't have any.
Not yet, you don't.
I just got some. Oh, crap. I don't have enough money though.
Uh-oh.
Well, alright. I'm only gonna have enough for one
Oh no.
life.
Mm-mm.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Just don't forget life.
Don't forget that.
I won't say who it happened to and when.
In this room though.
That person is not in this room.
I won't say who it
No.
happened to or when it happens, but there's not a single chance that somebody has forgotten the only life spell he had because he had to teach life to a temporary dead party member.
All right.
Oh,
Ideally,
hey.
I wanted to be able to have enough money for 2 life tomes there, but I'm gonna roll with 1 and see what happens. I mean, thankfully, this game has a very generous auto-saving and quick-saving capability. So you may have noticed that we have not taken a lot of saving or anything at this point, whereas you might have done that in other versions of the game. So every time you transition into a new location or onto a new floor in a new location, the game takes an auto save. And you can also manually quick save at any time. If you're on the Overworld, you can actually take a normal save at any time as well on the Overworld. So there's all these different save systems that are in place that allow us to be a little more aggressive with our strategies, because it minimizes the amount of time that you have to spend backtracking if things go horribly wrong.
Yeah, and you'll notice that there's going to be, like, whoever's in the lead right now, it doesn't even matter, because like they're it just, depending on like encounter luck, like you could see like on Deln's side, Deln he entered Salamand, later than Poorscythe did, but because Poorscythe got, multiple encounters that had like 7 enemies in it, Deln was able to just kind of cruise on by. We won't start seeing like a lot of like lead changes until later on, when we get ambushes from pretty nasty encounters.
What's the time at right now?
2750.
Yeah, that's decent for snowmobile time. I try to always hit it before 28 at least. I've been pretty lucky with my counters. Oh, sorry, go for it.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to chime in here. I actually misspoke earlier. Right now, the prizes that we have available are the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one game for a $10 donation, the Kingdom Hearts Nobody Iron On patch for $5, the Kingdom Hearts The Heartless Iron On patch for also $5, and the Kingdom Hearts Sora and Riku art print. It's an 11x17. That is also $5. So $10 would put you in for those 4 specific things. The Chrono Trigger prizes will not start until Chrono Trigger actually starts. So just a little update for you. But still, get your donations in, because $10 will get you all in for all of the Kingdom Hearts prizes.
Yeah, those are all pretty fantastic prizes.
The R print is beautiful.
All right, so here we're gonna be taking a lot of these encounters on from the snowman. They give us a ton of gold. You're gonna see both of our runners defending with Furyon and just attacking with, Cat Dan, and then attacking with Maya, Gurman, and Joseph. We want to, the swords just don't do enough damage to take out the snowman in one turn. And
they can roll high enough. It's more the icicle enemies that we run into.
Yeah, icicle enemies just have tremendously high defense.
Yeah. And until we get the ancient sword, it's not worth actually using it or attacking them. Here's my favorite dungeon of the game.
Yeah, the beautifully named dungeon, Snow Cave.
So yeah, in Snow Cave, you have every single enemy that you would fight on the field, except now you have enemies like a ghoul, I believe, deadheads, and wraiths, or wraith family. I don't know their exact name, but it's just a couple headed enemies, and then you have this one enemy that is a step higher than the bomb from earlier, which can deal up to I think 200 damage by exploding on you. So it's very, very...
Yeah.
This is why we pick up 2 life. 2 life or 1. I don't know how much or how many Poorscythe got, but
that's 1, unfortunately.
Okay. So you take a life tome, and you don't usually use it until character dies, in case, if you learn it and then your character dies, well, you're out of luck, because that character will not be able to revive, so you'll most likely have to reset.
So we're gonna take a little detour on floor 3. We're gonna pick up this chest and this item in it. It's an Antarctic Wind. It's gonna be an item that we're gonna need for later on. for a forced encounter we're going to take. We're also going to be picking up one of the first in-game swords of the run in this dungeon. Yeah, that's good. Joseph can take a beating, as we know.
Some quick saves just in case of problems with the life. I don't want to have to squander my life tome if I don't need to in an unfortunate situation right now. I'm gonna have to make up probably some money later on though. Although I can pick up some various chests here as well and sell them for money, or they might even contain money directly.
So now our chest drops random?
Chest drops are fixed. Enemy drops are random within a range. Like there will be, usually for many enemies, like anywhere up to like 5 or 6 things that they can drop, which can include money totals. So, or various money totals. So for instance, like a goblin, its drop table includes 9 gil, 18 gil, 37 gil, and 75 gil. And every single one that you kill can drop that a different amount.
No. This could be bad. Oh, the bomb or the grenade tried to flee, so I got a free turn. Ooh. So yeah, no, you don't want those grenades to explode because they could honestly just wipe your party if they really wanted to.
Yeah, it's probably the scariest enemy in this entire cave. The entire snow cave.
I'm gonna pick up an extra spear here, a mithril spear, which I'm gonna sell for extra money later on. It might cause me to get an extra encounter, but it'll probably be worth it at this point, just to make up the money.
Yeah, and that extra encounter will give you some more money.
Yeah. Here we get the Fated Dual Heads encounter. The encounter is really good because it can drop a battle axe. Battle axe sells for a lot. And
Which you just got one.
Yeah, all this of money is very, very welcome.
Yeah, we're gonna need at least, what is it, like 6,000?
I usually go for 7,000 or 8,000 if I can.
Yeah, so you can buy as many potions. Because we're gonna pick up. Yeah, we're gonna pick up 3 teleport tomes, 1 warp tome, and then the rest's just items. Alright, so this is one of our first forced encounters that we're going to take here out of a chest. We're going to get a wonderful sword called the Ancient Sword. And what that sword does is whenever, it has a very low accuracy rate, but whenever you hit with it, it inflicts the Curse status ailment. And what the Curse status ailment does is it's going to significantly lower...
That's not good. It's whatever. I'm going to have to do the Pirates fights with attacking instead.
I think if you have 2 unarmed characters, I think it still kills in 2 tomes.
Everybody say hi to Hero
it
Room.
doesn't. It could kill them in 2 tomes, but it's just... I wouldn't say not safe, but I'll have to take hits on all 8 of them if they don't ambush me. If I have a preemptive, I'll use fire and then I'll use Furyon to attack. So I can at least kill 2 out of the 6.
But yeah, so the Curse status ailment, what it does is, just to get back on topic real quick, it significantly lowers an enemy's, or a status. The status ailment just lowers your attack and your defense by a large margin. And it'll make pretty much every boss that we fight a walk in the park.
Oh yeah. Well, combined with the other blade that we're getting, the Slave Blade, we're gonna get in a little bit. It just makes everything super easy. If Furyon lands the hits, not like he ever missed the hits.
No, Furyon didn't forget his glasses at home.
No,
He's fine.
dude, I got another battle axe.
Oh, you were good on money. All right, so we have the second boss of the game, the Adamantoids. Very high physical attack, very high defense. Poorscythe landed his Ancient Blade, so it's going to basically make... And deln also landed his as well. So it's going to make the fight just tremendously easier. You can see that they went from doing like 30 damage to like 160.
I also
Yeah.
very specifically wanted to make sure I got at least 2 attacks in with both Maya and German, so that
Yeah.
they could get a skill up on the fight.
I got some really good drop from it too. I got the, I think it's the diamond shield.
Oh, you got a diamond shield, nice. That's good money.
Deln, this is just making up for yesterday.
Yes, yes.
All right,
Also
so
the,
coming up here,
Bizarre
we have a tough boss here. We have Borgin. For some strange reason, and I don't know why, the game classifies Borgin as a tier 5 enemy, even though he has like 300 HP, and he doesn't do any damage.
He deals 61 damage. Is that enough for you?
So we're gonna defend with both Kat, Dan, and Joseph, and we're just gonna attack with Maya and German just to get their fist levels up.
Oh my god, dude, he dropped me a Mitchell Knight. Oh, that's good, though. I like that. I like that very much.
All right, so we have our fantastic Indiana Jones moment here, and we're gonna have one of the first party deaths.
First? Yeah, I guess it's part of this. That's right.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
He'll be fine.
Yeah,
He'll be
well,
fine.
never mind. Well, Rip Joseph. And
Oh no. Well, anyway, moving
Yeah,
on. We're gonna exit the snow cave here.
I was waiting for that too.
And nothing of importance was lost.
So I'm gonna start attacking with Furyon now.
Wow.
That
I'm
man
sorry.
had a family. Jeez.
Yeah, you know what's better though is that he died, but we took his equipment, so we took it from his dead body.
I mean, yeah. I mean, am I really the bad guy here? You have your party members. They're like, oh, he died. Steal his stuff, and let's go.
I mean, we probably took his shoes too, but you can't really see it.
I mean, granted, he could have just moved out of the way.
He could have, yeah.
Yeah, that guy's damage was really rolling.
Oh boy.
Okay, nice pun.
Ooh. So anyway, there's a question in the chat if these versions have the Soul of Rebirth content from the GBA and PSP versions, and they do not. The bonus content from those versions, from many of the other remakes and versions of the game, have not made it into the Pixel remasters. I mean, I would love it if Square would consider adding them.
It's a possibility that it'll get added.
I would love to see it.
I mean, there's always this. You can always just slap DLC on something down the line.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Should run away from this one.
You know, the way I believe this game was created in Unity. So I mean, you can you can make anything with these.
You can
you
make
can
your own
modify it.
DLC.
I wouldn't be surprised if the modders out there made the Soul of Rebirth themselves.
Yeah, I'd not be surprised.
I have seen some glorious modifications to video games recently.
When we were looking up fonts to offer for the incentive here, I stumbled upon a whole Discord full of that, and it includes modifications for many of the other PC available remakes and ports. And I just want to give a shout out to that one. I think it's called a VG Modding Discord.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I can drop a link to the chat or to their Discord later on. That's where I found a lot of these wonderful font options, though. Okay, I think I have enough money to make up for what I missed earlier, though, at least.
So I just got a bunch of money. I just got way more money than I needed, so yeah. I'm gonna buy 1 warp, and I'm gonna buy 4 teleports, just for, you know, why not?
Yeah, because you had some incredible drop luck.
Yeah. But I'm still not buying equipment for anybody. They don't deserve it.
I mean, what do you need equipment for? You're just gonna be running from everything.
Yeah. Well, Right now, we got we got the Goddess Bell. Now we normally you wouldn't know where to go, but people would go back to Altair. I'm not gonna go back there. I don't want to.
But at this
It's
point,
not-
our runs transitioned at this point. I mean, now that we've done our shopping in Salaman, we don't actually need really money at this point as much. So we're going to transition our strategy to fleeing from random encounters at this point.
Yeah. Also, I didn't have to learn life on anybody, so that's very good.
Me too. I got through it cleanly. I don't even think I saw any grenades.
You're lucky. I got
lucky.
exploded a couple times.
I mean, the game almost gave Deln a favor and blew up Joseph a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's like the game knew something was going to happen to Joseph.
Yeah, and here we meet fan favorite character of the game.
Fan favorite. Oh, goodness.
Fan favorite. Yes.
And by fan favorite, you mean I would rather drag a pile of trash behind me in a coffin than bring Gordon with me ever.
Can we go back to the cavern and put him in the
How
boulder?
dare you say that?
Can we just bring Joseph's body with us?
Yeah,
instead of
just drag Joseph behind you.
Is that a thing we can do?
Yeah, Gordon is I want to say is
Oh no.
probably the worst character in the game.
Yes. The fun fact, you only get him for a very small amount of time, and
It's probably the worst time ever.
yeah. So here we see some Goblin Prince. Goblin Prince can use bow rank 3, I think. Yeah, 3. And, well, it doesn't really do any damage, so we're just gonna run away
Oh,
from it.
you're in counter luck here.
Can we trade?
This is the payback for all the sweet drops you got.
We're gonna give you some good drops, but we're gonna make it so you can never escape.
I took all of Gordon's gear off. I don't, because I want it for money. And I don't want him. I don't want him holding on to valuable things I need for other people.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it though. Like, it's coming off of Gordon. Is it really actually worth anything?
Actually, no. If I had the chance, I would rather delete his equipment than sell it.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually a drop option in this game, is there?
There is not, and it makes me sad because I would love, and I'm sorry to derail the game here. I would love an option to throw the Vorpal sword from Final Fantasy 1 into the Gurgu volcano.
But yeah, no, Gordon is not very useful because unlike the other characters, he doesn't have any good quality about him. He uses a spear, and spears are
Pretty terrible in this game.
you're quite weak, yeah. And it'd be too long to make him, learn an actual skill like fist fighting.
Yeah, a lot of our
we
guest
can
characters are not going to be contributing much to the party.
except Layla.
Yeah,
Minwoo is an MVP at the beginning, though.
Yeah, Minwoo and Layla are probably your two bests. Minwoo with, substantial, incredible healing abilities. And then Layla just comes equipped with, a strong thunder skill. And she's incredibly fast. That'll come into play. That speed will come into play for a couple of the major boss fights we're going to take.
I'm not having a lot of luck with my healing, running.
Do we have donations?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I got a couple of anonymous donations here. I got $50 from an anonymous donator. So thank you for that $50. I got another $5 from an anonymous donator. Thank you for that one. I have $10 here from Boomhauer. $10 to name Magus Guile, the best magician from the best game in the Chrono series.
Thank you
And
for those donations. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I also got another $10 from Periwinkle Cactus with no comment. So Thank you very much for those donations, and keep them coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have, I guess you could call this a boss encounter. This is the Red Soul. Basically, it looks like a Fire Soul, but it uses blizzard attacks on us. Nice. One hit with the Ancient Sword will just completely obliterate the boss and remove like all threat. And then we're gonna learn our teleports here to get out of this dungeon very quickly.
Yeah, I learned life first, just in case I don't, misclick using it.
Do the same thing.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to forget the teleport spell, which that's a thing in this game. You can actually forget spells that you learned. And for the speedrun, it's actually pretty tragic. Especially if you do something like, maybe like forgetting your life spell, and then you're relying on stopping it at Altair.
Alright, my favorite dungeon's coming up. Also, probably the most dangerous one outside of the end dungeon. Mainly because mines have a very high tendency of showing up in groups of 4.
Yeah.
And if you get ambushed by that, yeah, well, tough luck, but you're probably gonna get wiped. Because their explosion deals up to
Also,
300 damage.
Just real quick, if you have any jam emotes, Chocobo music is incredibly good. So let's get those jam emotes.
This is the first and only time it's happening, so get them in. Because we're working over.
I hate it, thank you.
Definitely sounds like the puns need more work.
Yo, can we get a new host?
Can we have chat donate for a new host? Is that a thing?
All right, so we're entering probably one of the worst dungeons in the game. And deln, oh no.
Come on.
Oh no.
You got the guy blocking you?
Oh
up,
no.
Up. Thank you. Up.
Oh,
Well.
there is actually nothing deln can do about this. This is just
Thank
awful.
you. Thank you for wasting my time.
So yeah, there's a possible chance.
God, dude.
There's a
What
possible
is this?
chance that NPC can just completely stop you there.
Oh wow, I got insanely lucky. No magic from them.
That's good.
Yeah, I had a really
man.
clean fight too.
I'm terrified,
But we
Oh.
detoured very specifically to pick up the sleep blade that is in that chest, because that is a incredibly overpowered item that it's something I discovered when I was doing my
Right
casual playthrough when this game just came out.
Just for you guys, I attacked once with Gordon.
Oh,
Why would you
now
do
see,
that?
now your run is cursed.
Don't give him any opportunity to shine.
Now he's gonna go back to Altair and be like, "Look, Ma, I did it. It was all me."
This could be
Yeah.
a little dangerous here. I'm got a bunch of stunner enemies. They can all do on-hit paralysis, and if they hit all of my party members before I respond, there's not much I can do about it.
But yeah, this is probably one of the worst dungeons in the game, just because of there's the mine encounters that do self-destruct. I think it's 5.
I think it's in this one. I think it's 3.
And it just has potential to just one-shot anybody they explode on. And then you have the groups of undead here that have paralysis touch, drain touch, and then you have the stunner enemies, the mice that are fast and they stun on one hit as well. So it's all over. It's just a terrible dungeon.
Yeah, I see this comment in chat right now. Yes, can we get Scott instead of Gordon? Thank you.
I mean,
Very
Scott
useful.
was at least useful.
Yeah, he gave you an item.
I feel like they made a mistake on that ring item. If you actually like read the description for it, it says that someone in the town of Gatria might know something about it. But if you go to Gatria, I don't think anybody actually knows about it or says anything about it. I'm pretty sure that seems like a description or a mistake on the translation.
Alright, I'm quick saving for safety measure. I'm not taking chances here.
Yeah, this is one of the longer rooms that we run in. A nice little feature about the Pixel Remasters is that each time you change maps, the game auto-saves. So if you ever get wiped or ambushed, it's pretty nice. But it also introduced a quick save feature, which
it's 5. Yeah, you were right. It's 5.
which is incredibly nice. What the quick save feature will do, it does save like your current step count towards the next encounter. But if you get ambushed by a bad encounter, such as a boss encounter, which we don't ever get ambushed by bosses.
No, it's not a thing.
You can always just quickly reload your save and refight the boss, and it'll be a different RNG seed every time.
And here we go.
I feel like I'm having better luck than I did in my other run. And I don't know.
At least, all right, Poorscythe, at least Cat Dan has some really cool shades now.
At least they didn't explode on Cat Dan, one of my characters that is able to cast Life. And Life is unbelievably strong in this version of the game, or especially in FF2 in general, because you can cast it on all party members, even at the lowest level. So it's essentially an AoE raise that we have access to.
Oh
to
no.
our characters.
Oh no. An ambush from the stunners is really scary. Alright, that was good RNG there, getting out of that.
Yeah, you could probably tell that this entire run right now is mostly glitchless.
Yeah, we actually haven't found anything for...
Nothing useful anyway.
Yeah.
Unless the 100% status application is a glitch.
It's not a glitch. Okay, let's not a glitch, not a glitch. I refuse to acknowledge it as a glitch. It's
we do know that if Square was to update the game, and they have released a couple of updates which have improved the stability of the game, thankfully, because we used to have some issues with the game crashing at around the 2-hour mark of the run.
Oh yeah, the wyvern cutscene, yeah.
But if they decide to change the automatic application of statuses like that, it's going to change the routing of this run.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Outside of the ancient sword, I believe the other route was not too bad, considering that mostly everything was done with the ancient sword and some teleport tomes.
I believe the ancient sword was used in the PS1 speedrun. It's not used in the GBA or PSP runs.
We have a question in chat. The end game is with tome throws. Actually, no. The end game has no tome throws. We only use the tomes for a couple of bosses coming up, namely the chimeras and the. I'm trying to think. It's not wild horns. It's big horns. After that, we don't really touch magic tomes.
No.
Oh no.
So the big reason we don't have to throw a lot of tomes is they've made significant changes to a lot of the random encounters in this game that used to be unrunnable, and now 99% of the encounters are runnable. So we no longer have to keep track of which encounters might be unrunnable on which floors and which dungeons.
Yes.
There's a couple of encounters with royal guards you might get in the Cyclone, which can be unrunnable. There's some dragon encounters in Jade Passage, which are unrunnable. There's a King Behemoth fight in Pandemonium that's unrunnable. And that's about it. Almost everything else that was previously runnable that we would have to stop and throw teleport tomes to get out of our way, we no longer need that. So we actually don't need anywhere near as many resources as we used to.
Just to give you a heads up, Poorscythe, you have a 56:05 on the timer at the moment of you exiting here.
Yeah, I'm actually way on PB pace, and I think I just golded that.
Yeah, it's a really good Dreadnought time. What we're looking for Dreadnought is at least something like around a 58, 59 or a sub-hour. That's a really, really good Dreadnought exit time.
Is it 56, 59?
Right now, timer is at 56:30.
I'm 5 minutes ahead.
I mean him exiting. I mean,
I'm 5 minutes ahead of my PB, which is world record pace.
Yeah, that's. I don't want to say
Now,
nothing.
of course, the unfortunate part of this is I'm using a font mod, which means this will not count for the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. It was in the back of my mind. I didn't want to mention it.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like right now, like you can just see like how like extensive the RNG is in the very beginning. Because right now, deln is our current record holder, and I believe he had a 57 on Dreadnought.
no, I got a 56.
56. So like you could just see like how crazy the RNG can be in the very beginning and how, you know, all over the place it could be. Especially with the NPC that just kind of stood there and was like, "Hey, you want to go get that sleep plate?" Nah.
But it doesn't really matter much because the end game can still change everything.
Yeah. Pandemonium is still the most terrifying place in existence. Oh, you got ambushed by the Coriels? Aw, Death Touch Blasters. Let's go.
That's exactly what happened to me yesterday.
That was a good time to mention. We're questing for glory, hope and healing too. We're raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. They're a grassroots organization based in mental health. Their work focuses mainly around the 3 educational pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. So if you wanted to check out their site, www.nami.com, and you can use the hashtag in the chat and spam it on the socials. It's hashtag QFGHH2. We really appreciate it.
Just to give you also a heads up for pace-wise, deln, 58:05 Dreadnought exit.
Well, still excellent times,
Yeah, very good
Yeah.
times.
Oh well.
especially for a marathon.
Wait, it depends where do you count that time?
The Dreadnought was exploding on your end.
Oh, that's not where I would actually split, but that's fine.
So on deln's side, we didn't get to see it on Poorscythe's. We were talking about the epic, awesome marathon, but the king just died. You know. Oh no. Anyway.
Anyway,
So Gordon says now he's gonna assume the throne here, which I don't even know if that's a good idea, to be honest. Gordon couldn't even get his, self out of a paper bag. But I guess he thinks he can command the entire army. That's fine. We're gonna exit here, and we're gonna go to the next town here, and we're gonna go and try to take a boat. But we're gonna find out that the boat is not there. We have to take this pirate encounter. But we're also gonna meet one of the best characters in the game.
this next section of the run is probably been one of the most difficult to navigate in terms of routing choices, because the upcoming fights against the bighorns and the chimeras have been fixed to spawn with 4 enemies in this version, and due to the very limited resources we have, it can be difficult. So what are we doing? And then we'll put that back on. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, that'll work.
But yeah, as far as us,
Go ahead,
just
Dylan.
bringing it up in
I'm
chat
sorry,
again.
guys.
They're just bringing it up in chat again. Yeah, it's a slippery slope, a lot of gray area with font modifications. So that the mods for all the pixel remasters just decided to disallow all modifications to every all the game files, which is why they don't
It's
allow.
no big deal to me if this ends up being a PB. I mean, I'm going to be very happy if it's PB, because that probably means I'm going to break the 220 mark for the first time. But I mean, if it happens to be a world record, then that just proves to me that I can do it again.
Oh,
And
I didn't
without
notice,
font
but I
mod.
actually had a fire tone drop from something.
Not to mention, it's great news for our viewers because then they get to see a run that can't even get submitted, but it is still world record pace.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it'll be a hidden little gem there amongst the other videos.
Or maybe I can argue with a mod about how it should be a world record.
Yeah,
I wonder,
Wait,
who
wait,
the
so-
mod is.
Are you gonna argue with yourself?
It's not me.
I'm gonna look in the Discord and I'm just gonna see Poorscythe in a voice channel like by himself.
Arguing why he can't let it on.
And I'll be like, oh no, anyway. So the route, I mean, if you're familiar with the PSP route, you have two destinations you can visit at this point in the story. We have to visit the island nation of Deist, and we can also visit the tropical island. And in the other, when I did the PSP run a couple years ago for RPG Limit Break 2019, I opted to go to tropical island first, but we've actually been switching the order of these when you visit the island nation of Deist here, specifically because there's important items you can loot from the castle here that will feature in the upcoming boss fights, known as a Saint's Spirit and a Sage's Wisdom. Using those in combat will temporarily raise the user's intelligence or spirit stat to maximum for the remainder of that combat, and that heavily factors into our strategy for the upcoming boss fights against the Bighorns and Chimeras.
So we see here on Poorscythe's side, he is grabbing the wyvern egg from the last known wyvern in the entire world. And the wyvern just basically tells him, hey, go put this egg into the life spring in the cave of Deist, and hatch this baby wyvern for us to continue our legacy. So our party members, being the rebels that they are, we're just gonna go into this cave. We're gonna kill a few chimeras, and then we're just gonna throw the egg into the water and leave.
Yeah, we're gonna make some omelets.
Like physically, just like yeet the egg into the life spring, and it's just gonna teleport out. We're not even gonna like see it sink to the bottom. We're just get out of my inventory. All right, I'm leaving.
Hey, so you can drop an item in this game.
So one of the that's not good.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what?
Wow.
That was lucky.
One of your lowest agility characters getting the runoff. Nice.
Yeah, full party status spells are a thing. And there's a wonderful clip out there of me getting full party deathed later on in the run.
Oh no.
Yeah,
oh, no.
It was a wonderful thing to experience. He just walks outside of Castle Finn, like in game, and like gets ambushed by like a mage, and it's just like AoE death and just hit him instantly first turn.
It hit everyone. It was amazing.
That's so brutal.
The glorious moments. Yes.
Another thing that I didn't know about until I started running this game, apparently if you get AoE frogged, it ends your run. I didn't know that.
Yes, because frog is considered a KO spell.
I'm actually going to take a detour here, which is a unique route change of mine that I think, as far as I'm aware, I'm the only one who does this. So there's an extra Saint's Spirit and Sage's Wisdom item in a section of the Deist Cavern here. And if you go on this little bridge area and fall down, you can reach that and pick that up. And then what I've done earlier is I picked up a warp tome that I taught to Maria, so I can use that to backtrack 2 floors and then resume what I was doing. So I'm doing this specifically because I'm trying to shorten a couple of upcoming boss fights. Notably the Emperor Gauntlet later on in the Cyclone, and one of the other fights I'm going to try to use this on is either going to be the Lamia Queen fight or the Thunder Gigas fight. That's right. I'm going to do it one more time. So this is a detour that Deln does not take in his route. I take this in my route, just to try to shorten up a couple of later boss fights, since his strategy is very powerful.
Yeah, especially against the Lamia Queen. That fight is just one of the worst. Essentially, that fight, how it goes, if the Lamia Queen uses Blink 16, it's an automatic reset if you're not doing Poorscythe strat here, because it maximizes her evasion stat, and you just can't hit her at all. She also has Sleep Touch, and she also does like anywhere between 200 to 500 damage per physical attack. So it's a pretty scary fight.
We're coming up on the Chimera's boss fight coming up, and you'll see the strategy for the first time, and we'll be using this.
Yeah, we're gonna take advantage of Leela's very high speed, and we're gonna use the I think it's the Sage's Wisdom here.
Yeah, this is the Sage's Wisdom, which raises intelligence.
Yeah. And what that's going to do is that's going to it maximizes your intelligence stat, and the higher your intelligence stat, the better chance of the spell working. So Leela's going to, hit Maya with the Sage's Wisdom, and then Maya is going to Warp Tone.
Got 2 of them. That could be a problem.
Ooh.
I mean, 2 is better than 0.
It is.
But 2 is about usually the low end of what is possible.
Game. Thank you.
What I really need right here is for Furyon to not miss with his Sleep Blade attacks, because that is going to be the key to this, I think, at this point.
So yeah, a little bit of scariness on Poorscythe's side.
I'm hanging on by a thread here.
I believe he's got this. Yeah, he is fine. Not even close.
Yeah, easy every time.
I do have another couple of donations here. I have $10 from Russell.
No,
said-
dude. This is bad. Sorry.
No, no problem. I have $10 from Russell there that says, bummed I missed Final Fantasy X task bonus, but can't wait for Chrono Trigger. And yeah, I'm completely stoked for that run. That's going to be 100% Chrono Trigger run too. And then another $5 from the same donator. So thank you very much for that $15, Russell. We also have a $20 donation from Karen T that said, hello again. I found enough couch cash for one last donation. I'd like, if I can, to name Magus after my grandfather, WT, who passed away yesterday. He was the hardest working man I've ever known, but still had some sass. I'll miss him dearly. Good luck on the close of the marathon, everyone. And I would like to say to Karen T, I'm sorry to hear about your loss. I'm sure he was a great man, and we appreciate the $20 donation.
Yeah, here in the commentary booth and our runner booth, we send our condolences. All right, so here where deln is just getting some really bad.
Oh, and I didn't even get the warp. I got the warp first. This is worse, man. Well, I gotta redo it again. This has never happened before. I'm gonna sit up.
It's a very rare possibility that Maria can take her turn before Layla does. Layla will usually outspeed Maria, or in this case, Maya.
This is very bad.
These fights are like the worst in terms of like the RNG.
It's not. You're supposed to go that way.
That's what we say for every marathon run. It's not supposed to happen this way. Oh my goodness.
Again, man. What? They're all so much faster than me now. I didn't think that was even possible. And I can't do anything.
Maya forgot her running shoes at home.
Alright, you know what? I'm switching strat here. Switching strat.
Oh, we're going with the beaver. The beaver is gonna cast the warp watch. Oh, of course. Of course.
Of course, man.
Alright, so you got 3 of them. That's much better. Alright, this fight is now in the bag.
Oh my god, man.
Guess that's never happened to me before.
Of course, the moment. Oh yeah, here we go. Like, you just throw the egg into the life spring.
Oh man.
And then you just immediately leave. You're like, you don't even wait for it to hit the bottom. You're just like, bye.
This could have been, much better than that, but no.
All right, on the Poorscythe's side, he is in the island cavern. It's a very, very poisonous cavern. Like every enemy, I think 90% of the enemies in that cavern have a chance to inflict venom, which is a lot. But our goal here is we're picking up an early quest item, an early key item called the Black Mask, which we won't even hear about until after we liberate Castle Fen. We don't even find out about the masks until we liberate Castle Fen. But we're going to come here early, and we're going to pick up this Black Mask, and we're going to essentially skip 20 minutes of the game.
Well, now that things back on track, for the most part.
Minor inconvenience.
Oh yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be a nice run without an ambush from Red Moose group.
Yeah. All right. So on Poorscythe's side here, we're gonna do sort of the same strat here, except this time we're gonna be using a Saint's Wisdom, and we're gonna be using the teleport spell, or Saint's Spirit. Sorry. And what we're hoping here is exactly what you just saw there. A perfect 4 teleport on the Bighorns. That is the most ideal fight you would like to see. Now we're going to make our way back over to Altair, and we're going to encounter in my opinion, the worst boss fight in the game.
Oh yeah, it's easily the biggest troublemaking fight now that I have in my route is the upcoming Lamia Queen fight. I'm hoping for some revenge here, for some catharsis for prior issues that I've had with her.
Question in chat, how does she have teleport 8? So whenever you use a tome in battle, each tome has a specific set level of spell that they use when you actually just use the tome in battle. Teleport, a teleport tome will give you teleport 8. I think warp is warp 6. So yeah, just using tomes is just much better than learning the spell for the most part, to get the most use out of it.
Alright, here we go.
Alright, we find out here that Queen Hilda is trying to seduce Cat Dan, and you kick all your party members out, and she's trying to lure you into, the bed with her. But Cat Dan sees through her tricks, and you find out that it's the Lamia Queen. And Layla, being, the best character in the game, was like, I can hear through the door. We're going in.
Well, I'm hoping that the strategy that I used on the Chimeras will work here. There's a chance it will not, and it did not.
Oh,
And she's
no. Blink 16.
Alright, I'm just going to restart. I don't
Blink
wanna do
16
that.
is the worst. Was that on the first attack too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, the luck is terrible in that.
Just to let you know, Poorscythe, you'll have to go relive again on
Oh,
Discord.
okay, yeah. I'll get you in a sec.
Gotcha.
On the save. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is no auto load functionality with the game. You can only
There's no soft.
It's only a hard
There's no
reset.
soft reset, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, only a hard reset.
So this is part of the reason I pick up the extra Saint's Wisdom or Saint Spirit Sage's Wisdom to try this.
All right, we have the Bighorn fight over on Deln's side here. We are definitely hoping for better turn order here.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh,
There we go.
Let's
Perfect. All right. Much
got
better
it.
fight there.
God.
Oh,
That
she
was
dropped
good.
the Sage's Wisdom.
Not what we want to see dropped from the Lamia Queen, but that's okay.
I think I can work around that. That's amazing, though.
Ideally, what we want from the Lamia Queen here is we want her to drop the 15,000 gil, because right here is where we're going to be picking up most of the resources for the final part of the run.
Yeah, the 15k is very useful because if you get that, you only have to do one shopping trip right after the Lamia Queen, and then you don't have to do one for the rest of the game. But if you don't get it, then you will most likely have to do a backup shopping trip near either the Cyclone or at the end of the run before Jade Passage. It really just depends on how much money you have.
Blink 16 is the worst Blink 182 cover band. I agree.
Alright, so my turn to get trolled. Come on, do me a Blink 16 right away. I implore you.
Oh, now's a good time to mention we got some upcoming challenges that are yet to be met. In Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, we have a $1,500 challenge where they'll add a fight pad hand cam, so you can actually see the way that he plays this, or they play this. I'm sorry, and I would definitely suggest trying to meet that goal before it is made, because some of the skill of these people, to see it up close, it's a thing.
Okay, making my way to Coliseum now. There's another upcoming boss fight here. This is unfortunately kind of a dangerous area with the random encounters here, as they have a chance to stun or stun lock
deln.
you.
Oh no.
Wait, was Furyon in the back row, or what happened to him?
He's just blind.
Yeah, well, he is. Alright. Very blind. I feel like I put him in the back row by mistake. No, he's not in the back row.
he just forgot his Coke bottles at home.
This is the only fight he has one job. He has one job to do here: is hit Sleep Blade. Only.
I think at this point, I think it's safe to say that Furyon is farsighted. So when he's in battle, everything's close up, and you just can't see.
So the behemoth strategy here, I'm just going to try to land Sleep and Curse on behemoth with Furyon swords, and then just punch him with Maya and Gehrman.
This is always the same, like, RNG, it seems. Oh my god.
Wait, I thought the behemoth strategy was have Gordon die.
He can live this time.
You know what? I'll take it. If it doesn't actually, make me die here. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh wait.
Oh.
Oh no. Bro, Furyon, what are you doing, man? Why are you doing that to me?
That was
Oh my dude. I have exhausted all my luck in this game.
It was all those drops. It was all those drops in Snow Cave. All of them.
This one run where everything went so right until the very end. And now I'm getting this.
Detouring for an elixir, since I didn't get all the money I needed off the fight. I can sell the elixir for a bunch of money later on.
I'm not even looking.
At this point,
I know you missed. I know you missed. I can hear it. I can hear it, dude.
This is so. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, we might be in luck here.
Don't say anything. You missed. You missed. You missed.
Oh no!
So
Free and easy every time. Let's go.
First try. Let's go. First try.
Free and easy every time.
I got the 15k though.
And I mean, it was the least the game could do.
And you know what's worse? That insult or injury is we're losing Layla for Gordon of all people.
Ugh. Ugh. You would think after him, ascending the throne and trying to take command of the army that he would become a better character. But no, he still has his little measly 150 HP and his nice little, what is that? I think it's just a bronze spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's become still the absolute worst character in the game.
Plus, on my side, he's gone now, and he's not coming back.
Fan favorite Gordon in here.
He's not coming back. See, that's what we cheer for here.
I still gotta be careful here.
Sorry,
These
Gordon.
encounters in
Just
the desert.
saying your whole.
Poorscythe is in a very scary part of the overworld. There are a lot of encounters here that have stun touch, and they have very high ambush rate.
Nope,
Oh, and we also get to fight the chimeras again. Oh, there we go.
Yep. This was inevitable. But I did save.
See, you say bronze tier, but that's an insult to people who are actually in bronze.
Now, if we have to compare it to any type of ranking in popular games, it'd be Wooden League. So, like, a couple tiers under bronze.
There is no tier for Gordon. He has his
Gordon
own tier.
It's impossible for us to place him anywhere.
He has 6,000 games in ranked, and he's still unranked.
Yeah.
Gordon's still doing his placement matches. Shoutouts to Diagonal Movement. Really, really nice.
Well, I guess the game now decided to use fast forward on its own. I tried to click it, but it actually canceled it out for some reason.
On Poorscythe's side,
Mike.
we're going to be picking up our best character again.
He's back.
And it's funny because we so for Layla, we normally take off all of her equipment. In the guide we listed as strip Layla of all her equipment. But we usually keep the gold hairpin on her. But we take that off before we lose her. And then when she comes back with another gold hairpin, which is a really, really good equipment item because it gives you plus 10 agility.
And the beautiful thing about this version specifically is when characters leave your party, they give you their equipment back. So you don't have to worry about accidentally leaving a blood sword on someone and then, having that person go goodbye.
Well,
You're gonna get it in your inventory.
Are we speaking from experience from another version?
Oh yeah, other versions definitely will let you screw that up.
what's the best way to mess around with me in
that's
the
not
game?
good.
Oh, hey, give you ambush on every single boss fight.
I don't want to do this. I don't know.
So far, I got 2 ambush on Lamia Queen. I got 2 ambush on Chimeras, and I got an ambush on the Behemoth.
This is a little sketchy.
I thought my luck yesterday was bad, but right now it's just out of this world.
Yeah, this is far beyond what we were experiencing yesterday.
Yeah, well, it could be worse.
I got through the fight with Gatos. That was a little bit of a sketchy one. I was going to res with Furyon, but the enemies that I ran into in the Colosseum actually took all my MP away.
All right, much better.
Yeah,
RNG
it should
there
have
for the
been
Behemoth.
going that way.
Luckily, I do have an ether, and I'm going to use that now. I'm going to get everybody back before I totally forget what I'm supposed to do here.
Alright. Oh, by the way, all this RNG that I'm getting is literally impossible to control. You cannot do anything about it. You are at the mercy of the game.
It's just a manipulation for later. It's okay.
Man, last time you said that, I actually got worse RNG later on. So
Now the question
We'll
is,
just play
are we
Fortnite.
gonna see the legendary Iron Golem at the end of the run?
I've seen him like in the last 2 or 3 practice runs I've done, and that was after a long time of not seeing him.
I don't want to see him.
He actually punched my guy the other day, which I almost never see him do.
Yeah, he punched me once for about a couple thousand of damage. But I've seen him twice in a single run. I think I've seen him twice, which it used to be a blessing, but now I'm not so sure anymore. All right,
I'm
Just gonna
here.
give you all the heads up. I am going to have to step away now. But good luck with the rest of the run. Both of y'all are doing fantastic right now.
you say that now. Look at what I got.
Look, we're not gonna talk about it, okay?
Yes, our temporary party member is leaving.
But yeah, good luck with the rest of the run, y'all. Thank y'all for having me on for comms for the majority of the run.
Thank you, Ice, for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much, Ice Blue, for joining us. So we really appreciate you having here for commentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be kind of weird not to give commentary on Poorscythe's thing since I'm not really watching it. So I don't know exactly where we are.
Well, now I'm in Castle Finn, making my way down to the bottom because there is another key item here at the bottom, the white mask that I need. We need to get the Ultima Tome, which was the task that the king assigned Minwu to do before he passed away. In order to reach that, that's in my city tower. We need 2 items to be able to get into the tower. We need a black mask and a white mask, and we also need the crystal rod actually to get into the tower. We can't get the rod without the black mask and the white mask first, though. So
I'm
we picked up the black
good
mask
luck here.
in the tropical island at the bottom, which is essentially like kind of a standalone dungeon you can do whenever you want to do it. Now I just picked up the white mask here. I'll have to take that to the town of Mysidia. So people who are not familiar with FF2 but may be familiar with FF4, if Mysidia sounds familiar, it's because it is the exact name. It's also the name of a holy mage village in this game, and it actually originated in this game first before it was in FF4. I believe it's the first location that they reused between different games. Now I'm heading over to Mysidia to put the white mask on a statue that's in a little basement inside the town, because there is a doppelganger NPC that is blocking my path in the cave of Mysidia nearby, and if I don't place the mask here, the doppelganger starts mirroring my movements and I can't pass him. So I have to, first of all, put the white mask here to disable him from mimicking my movements, and then I need to approach him and put the black mask on him in order to get him out of my way. And then that'll let me reach the crystal rod, which we need to get into the Mysidia Tower to get Ultima. So and there will be a quiz on the end of this one, so I hope everybody's taking notes. Oh boy, that's not what I want to see. So this is a thing that can happen here. Cockatrices ambushing and probably game overing me, because that is very common here. And there's a game over yet.
Well, I'm still getting ambushed on my side. Not the best of luck.
So now you guys both said that earlier in the run, you both said that it can fluctuate But there's a lot of randomness to this game. How much would you say that a speed run of it usually fluctuates? Like on the average, 10, 15 minutes?
Probably maybe like 4 to 8.
4 to 8?
I mean, it's pretty close. It's not usually more. I mean, our estimate here is 240 when we submitted this, because we submitted this quite a while ago, and for our personal best times dropped quite a lot more.
Yeah.
I mean, the world record is now just a little under 2 hours and 20 minutes. And our practice runs have been running in the range of around 223 to 225, sometimes a little bit more than that. But I mean, it's not uncommon for runs to go a little bit over that, although generally they've been under 2 hours and 30 minutes, even with some questionable RNG.
Yeah, unless you get really bad luck. And I'm not talking by experience here.
Now, whoever would have personal experience with bad luck, I mean, if you run this game, it's going to beat it into you that you need to be very careful with how you play. I mean, you need to be very defensive with quick saving and not super aggressive with trying to run 3 or 4 random encounters at a time between saves. When I ran this for PSP, I saved in certain dungeons almost every encounter, but I also did have a step route, so I knew when to expect encounters happening. That doesn't happen here necessarily. I know that encounters will happen within maybe 10 to 15 steps from the last encounter, but I don't know exactly where they're going to happen.
But you could still anticipate them coming.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes just from practice of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I'm just making my way through the Cave of Mysidia here. I don't know if anything exciting is going on deln side, but if not, this is a great time for some donations.
I'm just going through Castle.
Actually, yeah, there are a couple of donations here. I have $100 from Wells that just says "Good luck, Poorscythe," and smile.
I'm not
I
crying.
also have.
I guess that counts as a smile, right?
Yeah. Happy tears.
Happy tears.
And then we have a $180 donation. Wow, that's a big donation. From Code and Data. Sorry to hear about your loss, Karen T. Bumping that name bid in his honor. So that was to name, I do believe, one of the Chrono Trigger characters, WT, in honor of his grandfather. So that should bring that total up to, $280 for that. But thank you so much for that very generous $180 donation. We really do appreciate it. One last one, there was $25 from Zoe, Z-O-I-A, for Jack and all of our animal friends. Yes, shoutouts to all of our animal friends, including the cat that you currently see on your screen.
I'm actually on the 4th floor of Cave of Mysidia here, and I am very, very thankful that the devs have restored this shortcut on this floor. It's been taken out of all the other remakes. It was in the original Famicom version, and then it was removed, and you had to walk a much longer path on that floor in all the other versions of the game, and they restored this one in this version of the game, and I am so thankful they did that. Because it really, really shortens that floor, and anything that you can get to get through all these false walls and shortcuts is great. So I'm on the last floor here. I just have to get through a bunch of encounters to get into the treasure room and pick up the crystal rod. And then looks like Deln is heading to Mysidia, or maybe in Mysidia right now.
Yeah, oh my god, I knew it was gonna happen. That's why I saved. I saw it coming. Oh, wow, I was able to escape that. How? Ooh, I almost got petrified. I got ambushed by cockatoos.
Well, I was going to mention earlier, this is the last opportunity I have to use teleport, and one side effect of teleport in this game, I'm also going to forget teleport now, so I don't accidentally cast it later by mistake on my character, but I also have to make sure that I heal up after using teleport with Furyon, because if you're using it to get out of a dungeon here, it has a unique side effect of dropping your HP to critical levels on the caster. As far as I'm aware, it doesn't do that in any other version of any other Final Fantasy game.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use Warp as an alternative to go back one floor instead of exiting an entire dungeon, and Warp does not have that side effect.
Alright, making my way in. Let me see the cave in a bit. If the game is willing to let me, get in there.
So I was just about to reach the castle of my city, or I'm sorry, the tower of Mysidia. But surprise, we have a little detour first.
Oh boy.
My favorite dungeon in the game. Not because it's full of RNG, but at least it's the most, I'd say the most unique dungeon they made.
The Leviathan is quite an interesting one. So we're swallowed by the giant Leviathan, once again, something that FF4 copied. So we just have to navigate through this and hopefully not get trolled by the encounters here. There's only a handful of encounters. And I'm just going to take a save because I don't want to get trolled and have to repeat them. Shoutouts to all the pixel art combat backgrounds, because they look fantastic in this one, and especially in all the games. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Layla is unfortunately gone at this point, and we're not gonna see her again as a party member that can join us. But we're gonna get another friend instead. The first Dragoon, Ricard. Actually, he's the last Dragoon, too, in the lore of this world.
So I don't have any MP on Cadden to cast teleport, but I do still have a teleport cone that I keep as a backup.
No, it's not.
I would use it on the Emperor fight, but for now I will definitely use it for this spot. I do not have any MP to revive them anyway, so Phoenix down. No choice. I did not buy an ether this time, which I should have.
I always buy an ether because I always know something is going to go wrong at the wrong moment.
Yeah, I always buy like tons of Phoenix down, and I never think about getting an ether.
So I'm here facing the Roundworm in Leviathan. I need this to get out of the dungeon, and strategy is going to be the same as the other one. I'm going to try to sleep and curse it with Furyon so that it does not take attacks and that its defenses and attacks are weakened against me. And my other guys are just going to munch it, or just going to keep pounding on it until it goes away. But unfortunately, it hit Layla before I landed an attack, so that kind of slowed me down a little bit here. Ideally, you want all three of your other characters up and doing the damage. Oh, they were back row. That was a very bad mistake on my part. Whoops.
That was something. So I got swapped by this enemy here, and it restored.
I'll give you. That's a great random thing. So Furyon's back to fighting shape.
I kind of lost my footing there, and I missed the hole in the wall, but that's a surprise. I guess I thank them for that. Yes. Thank you, enemy, for saving me. So now I still have a teleport cone for the Emperor.
Just make sure your guys are back row. I accidentally backrowed my guys during the Roundworm fight, and I didn't mean to do that. So that actually lengthened the fight a little bit. Generally speaking, they've completely altered the row mechanics of this game from the original versions of it. It used to be that if a character was in the back row, the only thing the characters could do that would land are ranged physical attacks, like using bow attacks, or you could cast spells with them. But they've actually altered the mechanics of the rows to kind of match the other games in the Pixel Remaster release.
It does
So
make it
it's-
a lot more like, I guess, unsafe compared to the other versions. Because a
Yeah, I
group
mean-
of 8 enemies all attack you instead of only the front 4.
Yeah, and you're no longer required to have somebody like in the front row like the PSP version. I mean, you can essentially put characters in any row that you want without any restrictions.
Yeah.
And obviously in the back row, they will do less damage to the enemies, and they will take less damage from physical attacks and things of that nature.
Now we forget teleport. I am not gonna take a chance here. Wow, dude, I literally just came out of Mystic Cave and I'm getting all those packages and not ambushes, but fights.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm here on the Fire Gigas fight here, and he took an ambush on me, so he actually punched Maria, slowing me down a little bit. Just decided to res her with a Phoenix down to keep everybody up here, but I'm hoping to once again use the Sleep and Curse combo to keep him locked down, and I'm going to be doing that for all of the fights here, as we're going to be challenged by 3 different elemental Gigases as we're climbing the tower. And shoutouts to that shortcut on the 4th floor here, which cuts out pretty much the need to traverse the entire floor, if you know about that. Otherwise, you have to take an extremely long detour.
I used to hate the Leviathan. Because any fight here just murders you if they want.
Yeah, ambushes can be really nasty, especially if you just go and forget to quick save, or just get really aggressive and try not to quick save. You're gonna get punished.
Yeah, well, it really depends if you're feeling how you're feeling at that moment. If you feel like you can actually get through, the game decides for you. You think you have control over it, but you don't. How much HP do you have on Maria?
174 on Maya. She's a little low. Actually, all my guys are a little bit lower than I'd like.
Yeah,
guest
I'm
party
not
member.
even over 200 yet.
I didn't change my commands. I didn't even realize I forgot to change my commands after the Ice Gigas fight. Quick save just in case I do something stupid.
Alrighty,
You're probably
now-
going to be seeing. Go ahead.
Oh, go, no, that's fine. You can go ahead.
I'll just say that you'll see us probably carefully taking some quick saves here, just to ensure that we can recover from any unusual random encounters, because we're getting to the point where random encounters can start to really, really ruin our day. Like
Yeah, and
this
I,
one.
Speaking of, no, I just wanted to let everybody out there know that we still have those prizes available that you can actually donate for right now during this run, and then all the way through Birth by Sleep. We have the Kingdom Hearts all-in-one game submitted by Kyos. We also have Kingdom Heart Nobody Iron-On patch and a Heartless Iron-On patch donated by Wolf and Wings, so we appreciate that. And there's also a Sora and Riku art print from the RPG LB staff. So the RPG Limit Break staff submitted that one. $5 for both patches and the art print, and a $10 minimum donation for the all-in-one game. You can donate at any time. That little donate button. It all supports NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, and it all goes to a really good cause.
Furyon's kind of missing with the Ancient Sword here. I really need him to land it. Did I forget the back row again?
Well, you switched
thought
it the last time you mentioned it.
Oh, there we go. Now it's going. I could have sworn I like back row, but nobody was doing any damage.
Yeah. No, I definitely saw you do it after you mentioned the frost. So now spells aren't affected by the back row, are they?
They are not. But unfortunately, it takes so much effort to skill them up that it's not worth it in general.
Yeah.
Okay, we're definitely in front row.
Right, and then you're waiting for animations to go play through too.
Yeah, the animation speed of most of the spells in this game are very good. They don't linger on. Like the teleport animation in PSP takes forever to play out compared to how it plays out in this version. So I mean, you spend a lot less time sitting around waiting for it to look pretty and just see what happens. Plus, I mean, since so many things are runnable now, you don't have to actually sit around and try to teleport so many of them anymore. And I'm just going to get through this one random encounter here, and then I will be done with my Cydia Tower. We'll obtain the Ultimate Tome, which will get exactly no use out of us. It's quite literally a plot point that goes nowhere and has no value in the story.
Exiting the tower at 148.
Shout out to the excellent pixel art graphic effects for many of the special effects in these games. Like the water effect is fantastic. The upcoming cyclone effect you're going to see looks fantastic. That little Hadoken right there looks amazing. Like there's like an amazing water effect like on the bow of the ship when you're sailing in FF4, and easily one of the best looking graphical effects of this pixel remasters.
It really did make it look beautiful. Even the low-lying like smoke in the rooms that you were in currently.
Alright, so I'm done with the tower here. Just got to get back over to Finn now that it's our new base of operations again. And there were actually a bunch of stat orbs in that final room in my Cydia Tower. And in this version of the game, you can actually grab them and they will increase the status or the stats of all of your characters. We don't actually need to grab them though. Oops, I didn't cast my line. You can optionally do that, it just costs a few seconds there. The ones that we would probably want are maybe the agility and the strength orb.
I would go for
strictly need 'em.
agility. Maybe not strength. Oof, this encounter could have gone a whole lot better.
Oh, I have to go here and talk to Gordon. I just need to learn the cyclone keyword, since there's now a very large cyclone that just happens to be lurking outside the castle. It's apparently already ripped through a number of towns, so many of the towns that we visited early in the game have now been completely destroyed and are no longer accessible. And then while we're here in the castle, we still have the pendant that we picked up in the Deist Cavern. And it seems our omelet is ready to... It's ready for breakfast. So the Wyvern Egg is been restored. We put it in the Life Spring earlier. And it is ready to hatch and come help us out. Because the only way we can reach the castle, the Emperor's castle that is in the cyclone, is we have to fly up to it. And fun fact, the Wyvern is actually a key item in your inventory you can use to cast like a fire-based spell. It's not very powerful and it's not very useful in a speedrun sense, but it's kind of a cool, casual little thing.
Alright, decent luck for me on my Thunder Gygus. As long as I can leave Mysidia Tower under 2 hours, then I'll be pretty happy.
Now that I have the Cyclone keyword, I can actually go into Paul's house over here. We didn't know he had a house until now. We have to talk to him about the Cyclone, and he opens up a little treasure room near his bed, where we can pick up some extremely powerful equipment, including the Blood Sword, which is going to help us out tremendously.
Now, am I right in assuming that it's like the all the other versions of the Blood Sword, where it has a vampiric effect, steals HP?
Very much. Did I change his? I did not. Yes, it's incredibly overpowered and is pretty much the basis of our strategy against the final boss. I'm going to sell the elixir I got earlier for the money to make up the difference, and I'm just going to max out on potions there, a bunch of eye drops, antidotes, just to make sure I have enough. This is just ensuring that I have enough to get through pretty much anything from this point on.
Ooh, I did save a lot of time from the bad luck that I had earlier.
Okay, that should be all the supplies I need for the remainder of the game at this point.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do any more shopping at all.
So counting this dungeon cyclone, we have about 4 dungeons remaining in the game. Once we get to this point. I love this little cyclone effect here as we're entering. It's a very, very cool effect. Actually, we got you doing the Hadoken on the other screen. It looks great. Side by side, they look great.
Yes, they actually do.
Okay, so I'm going to start climbing the cyclone, and I just need to reach the top, and then we're going to have probably the hairiest remaining boss fight from this point on.
I'm going to say...
Luckily, I have a secret weapon for it.
Are you entering Cyclone right now?
I am on the first floor or the second floor. But I'm getting beaten up by vampire ladies and vampire girls.
And that's a bad thing?
It depends what you ask. Oh, they got me. Okay.
All right. On my way for the egg cutscene.
That was a stark difference from the last encounter you got.
Yeah, that's kind of a thing that happens in this game, is the encounters can be... It's a real feast or famine thing. I mean, whoever goes first in combat, whether it's you or your opponents, has a giant advantage in terms of who can win. I don't need that. That's gonna... Let me just not take that. Because I kind of need my MP. Just in case.
Well, thankfully now there's no more soft lock on this cutscene.
Oh, I don't think I can fight and run from that. Can I? Alright, I don't think I can run from this group of royal guards. This is one of the very few remaining unrunnable encounters in the game.
There's 2 of them?
There's what,
If
3? There's 4. There's royal guards, there's white dragons, there's green dragons, and there are king behemoths. All of them are in the very late stages of the game, though. I really hope this was not like a runnable formation, but it's pretty much impossible to tell. Other than trying to run, and it will, if you can't run from it, it will tell you can't escape. Okay, got through that.
There we go.
Oops.
Crossing my fingers here, so I don't get, instant death, leaving Finn. Right, I am now making my way into Cyclone.
I
It's
just
the
reached
animation.
the Emperor's room, so now I gotta get there and set up. Okay. So I'm gonna front row everybody but Furyon for my strategy. I'm just gonna make sure everybody's healed up and then quick save. And now I have to go through a gauntlet of 3 back-to-back fights. One with 2 Royal Guards, one with 3 Royal Guards, and then the Emperor fight itself. So these first 2 fights, really just hoping that we can kill the Royal Guards as quickly as possible, as they have a poison effect on their attacks, and I got an preemptive on the good one. That's a good way to start this fight, because I don't want them hitting me, if at all possible, just to keep my character's health high. But I'm essentially going to melee them down. I'm going to try to lock one of these enemies down with Furyon's Sleep and Curse combo, and then have the others just punch them. And this is going okay so far, and then my earlier strategy of taking the detour for an extra Saint Spirit is hopefully going to pay off here. So I'm going to try to throw a Teleport Tome and get rid of the Emperor and the 2 Royal Guards in this final fight. And I got a preemptive. That's very, very good. So I need to throw a Saint Spirit on him. I need him to throw the Teleport Tome. So with any luck, German's gonna teleport all 3 of them, and perfect. That's all I want, because the Wood Golem is immune to teleport, so I have to physically beat him down. I got through that in the first try. That's unfortunately really a pain point if you fail to kill it on the first try, or if you get all the way to the 3rd fight and then get killed there, because it just wastes a lot of time. You have to repeat all the fights. There's no opportunity to heal or save in between of them.
I got 2 encounters with 2 Royal Guards, and I know for a fact he can outrun from this one.
Golem is quite literally, he's literally a bigger threat than the Emperor, and he's immune. In the PSP version, we would try to either use the Blood Sword, or we would have some Fire Tomes at this point to do some more damage. We don't really pick up the Fire Tomes here at this point, so we're just gonna punch them instead. But also, they're a lot bigger pain, Wood Golems, because if you run into them while you're climbing, they happen to be unrunnable in other versions of the game.
Alright, my turn for this. And not a preemptive, but not the worst.
Okay, so
The guy is dead.
there was a quick little dance party there, and then we had a little scout come back and report to us that the Emperor has, while the Emperor is dead, our friend SKU, or SQU, I'm sorry. That's right, I don't have to talk to him. Ascended the throne and took over the Empire in his place. Why would he do that? I don't know. Not a very nice move, though.
Okay, that could have been way worse, honestly.
And then we see, unfortunately, our pal Sid has now passed away. Anyways, but he was apparently helping us fight from the airship while we were ascending the tower and doing everything. It's kind of an off-screen fight. You don't really see what happens there. And then you have to go into Paul's house, who's nursing him back to health. But unfortunately, he's too far gone and succumbs to his injuries. And as a last gesture, he leaves us his airship, so we can now pick that up and use it as a proper airship for once, instead of having to pay him to ferry us around.
Alright, final fight.
Good luck.
Luck.
Please. Thank you for not ambushing me this time. I appreciate that very much.
So I'm going to confront SQU, or SKU, I guess we'll say it's SKU. I don't know how to pronounce that, SQU. SKU or SKU. I do thank you guys for the donations, though, for that.
SKU. It's also a number that they put on default products when you're selling them in retail.
I think it's an SKU, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. So anyway, I just have to go and confront him at the top of this dungeon, but the only way to reach it is by the air, so I have to land on the top floors, and then there's a trapdoor that drops me down to the bottom, and I have to reclimb the whole tower again. That's not a good way to
this is
die.
not good.
Thank you, Cat Dan, for running. That was a little sketchy.
This is very not good.
Skew.
It was cursed, so it's not the worst, but okay, phew, I actually made it.
Nice.
I think.
Oof,
Oh,
that was a clutch fight.
Rickard popping off by himself. It's a good thing that I actually hit the curse on him, because his melee really hurts. So.
Yeah, Rickard with the blood sword can solo a lot of fights in this, thankfully. In a really desperate situation, he can do that. Hopefully, you don't want him to have to do that, but he can. I believe I'm on the third floor right now, and deln is a little bit behind me at this point. He's just got to go through that little dancing cutscene to get caught up to me. We only have about 3 dungeons left right now, including this one that we're on.
Yeah, the worst part of the run is long gone now.
Yeah, the Emperor is really the last big RNG hiccup, although the last 2 dungeons can waste a lot of time, but they generally, other than slowing us down, that's about all they can do. We should have what we need to be able to get through them. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take us to get through.
How many dragons?
Dragon predictions. I'm gonna say
prediction
3.
going.
Yeah, let's
3?
have a question for you guys in chat. So when we reach Jade Passage, which is the next dungeon after that, we have a chance to encounter some white or green dragon random encounters. And if we see those, we're gonna have to stop and fight them. So we want to get a prediction from you guys about how many dragons are we each of us going to see. We're only going to likely see them on the first 2 floors of Jade and maybe the last 2 floors of Jade. And there's 2 floors in the middle there that we're not going to see them. You're not going to see them in Castle Pandemonium, although you might see blue dragons at the very end there.
Oh, we got a 0. Very generous.
Blue eyes, white dragons. I don't know. They might be.
I think the most I've seen is 5.
I'll say on my side probably 4. That's it there.
I'd be very surprised if we saw a 5, but 5 is definitely possible. I would
I've
say
seen 3 dragons.
2 to 3 is
on the
probably
first
more
week.
common.
Yeah.
-1.
You get it 1. Yeah.
Well, then we can make it a glitched run somehow.
Yeah, right.
Wait, does that mean we don't actually have to play a game for having -1? Yeah.
Maybe it just underflows your dragons.
The dragons encounter you.
Oh. Or actually, -1.
Oh,
have the dragon actually run away from you.
Oh, this is a really bad encounter right at the end here. kill
I
me.
need to.
Please don't kill me. Thank you.
I'll say this, but I don't think percentage-wise, I don't think the NES percentage really applies here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the enemy appearance rates in this one.
Yeah, because you see a lot of dragons. For having, what was it in the NES version, like 6%? You see them way too many times in this one. Even for King Behemoths, it's like, which is like, you see him, you can see him pretty early on, but the percentage is like 4 or 5%.
So at the top of the tower here, we confronted our friend Skew. And right as we're doing that, the actual Emperor has apparently been sent to Hell and has taken over Hell from while he was down there. And then has come back to our realm and wants to rule the world again. So he's raising his underworld castle, Pandemonium. Or rather, transforming Castle Palamecia into Pandemonium. And then Ricard sacrifices himself so that we can get away from the Emperor, because we're apparently not ready to fight him yet, even though we do have a blood sword.
That was a scary fight.
So Skew has joined our party. We finally have our final party here. Just need to make sure he gets the blood sword now. And I have to specifically put it on his left hand because he is left-handed, which is a thing in this game. Let's do that.
Huh. So your dominant hand actually matters in this game.
It does, in terms of certain damage calculations. All of the characters are right-handed with the exception of Layla and Leon, or in this case, Skew. They are left-handed. And I believe Joseph is ambidextrous, technically?
No, I think
Like
Joseph
that.
actually has a dominant hand, but since you just use fist, it doesn't really matter. I don't think.
Yeah, he's gonna punch you either way. So we have to enter the Jade Passage in order to reach Pandemonium. I'm gonna use the cottage I picked earlier. Actually, I have a second cottage I didn't realize to restore my MP, so that I have enough MP to use to res my characters throughout these last 2 dungeons. And I'm gonna start the final descent here. So I only have about 2 more dungeons now, which are back-to-back. And deln is in the 3rd last dungeon, just a couple minutes behind right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to not waste so much time, but I'm really getting bad luck.
Well, right off the bat, we got a dragon here. So, if you had a prediction of 0, you are already wrong.
Well, they can still have a 0 on my side. Unless you meant it as a total.
I guess we'll see. We got 1 on the 1st floor. Let's see if I get any on the 2nd floor. Oh, there's another one for me. So those are the only encounters I have to worry about here. Everything else we can run away from. This might be a great time for a final set of donations before we get underway with the rest of these dungeons.
Absolutely. I just had one last donation, and it's from Gagglegeese, and it's $100 with no comment. And I was trying to get the actual prize total for the challenges little bit closer. That raised the Chrono Trigger watch the anime cutscenes total to 560 out of 1,000. So we only need 440 to reach that challenge to watch the cutscenes. There's 2 others on the Chrono Trigger run that are coming up for challenges that could be met yet, including Fight Dream Devourer and in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the Fight Pad hand cam. That's at $1,500. So it needs some help. It's at $4 right now. But any donations are great. They all support NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, a grassroots organization that spends all their time trying to get people better mental health. They have a phone number that you can call if you want to talk to somebody, and they advocate. So just give them a call. Check out their website, www.nami.org, and just let them know what a great job they're doing, and feel free to donate at any time during this or any of the other runs.
I do thank you guys for the donations here. We're just continuing through this and hopefully not dying on these random encounters, because they are so far beyond our HP totals, with the exception of skew. So if an enemy lands a physical attack, it's most likely going to one-shot our enemies here. Ambushes are not particularly something we want to see here, but they do happen. Yeah, and that's a wiper there for me. But thankfully the autosave's right there, so that's not a big deal. Okay, now I'm about to get back to floor 5, so there's a chance I could see more dragons here. So my current count is at 2 so far. Oh, there's a green dragon. That's number 3.
Oh, you passed off my estimate.
I mean, we can go for a high score. If we can get over 5, that would be a new high score for me. I didn't mean to attack there. So one consequence is I turned on an option called Continue Auto Battle, so it repeats my commands from between battles. So I have to be very careful when I have to stop and change commands to ensure that I cancel that and switch it back to what I meant to do instead.
Right. I'm about to enter Jade Passage.
I'm going to take one last quick save on this floor.
Now in the remasters, they renamed the Marlboros from Mad Oscars, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's what they were called in 6. I think that was one of their... I guess I'm not sure. But yeah, it's the same enemy, Mad Oscars.
Well, first encounter for a dragon.
That might be the last encounter I get in the Jade Passage here. Yeah, okay, I'm all set with Jade now. So no more dragons for me, I got 3. If we have the ability to crank up vocals here, this is by far, or the game audio, this is by far the best part of it.
I got
in my
2 out
opinion.
of 2 so far.
That's if you're using the audio on my stream. If not, we'll wait for delns.
I don't know which one they're capturing audio from.
The Pandemonium is just one long 10-floor maze with enemies that can ambush and kill you everywhere. We don't need anything from them, thankfully, so we can just, quite frankly, run from everything. The only things we can't run from, if we see them on the higher floors, are blue dragons and king behemoths. We won't see them until, like, floor 7 or higher. So I just have to get through these. And there's a lot of little secrets and shortcuts on some of the floors too. Ow. How?
I can't do menuing. It's too hard.
Be like super cautious with saves here. I just do not trust this place.
Which is completely fair.
It's been beaten into me from so many years of running this now. I've been running this game across multiple versions for 3 or 4 years now. Which is not something I ever expected when I picked up, because I started with FF1 PSP was pretty much my first pickup. And then at some point I got curious about FF2 PSP. And then randomly got I finally worked hard enough to get the world record last year, and I have not touched it since. And I was not planning to come back to FF2 anytime soon until these Pixel remasters came along. They were a happy surprise, because I've been wanting a PC version of 1 and 2 for a long time. So I was very happy when they came along, and our commentator, Ice Blue, and several others were the ones that seized on FF1 Pixel Remaster, so I kind of picked up on 2, because I thought there weren't as many people picking it up or learning about it and speedrunning it.
And come to find out, they made some excellent upgrades to the Pixel Remaster.
Yeah, this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is the definitive version. I really do wish the bonus content was in here, but it's not enough of a reason to get me to swear this off. I'm on the 6th floor, I believe, now, so I have 4 floors left after I get off this one. So time will be coming up in a few minutes for me. And the final fight can go really, really fast. Like 2 or 3 hits fast. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. How's your dragon count doing, Del?
Right now 3.
Yeah, 3. That's pretty average of the way it goes.
But I'm not done with J Passage just yet. Almost. I have 1 more room to go. So I can still get 1 or 2 here, I believe. Alright, well that brings my count to 3, for sure. I don't think I can get a 1 on this last encounter, right? No.
Okay, floor 7 is complete for me. I have 3 more floors, only one of which is really long at this point. This is the last remaining long floor. Thank God I got away from that. So, like, the Curl and Lamia Queen encounters can be some of the worst encounters in this entire dungeon here. The Curls are some of the nastiest enemies in the game, because they have a blaster move which can paralyze your entire party, and they also have an on-hit kill effect, which combined with 100% status effects in this game will just instantly kill all your guys. So I'm on the final floor now. So time will be coming up for me in a minute after I get this King Behemoth encounter. I'm glad he made an appearance at least. And he gets even like a little boss-style intro in this one. And a boss death animation for no real explanation. Okay, start with the final boss. So time will be probably on the second or third hit that Leon lands, or Skew in this case. I will try to stun lock him with my other characters, because it does work on him. The Sleep Curse combo does work in this fight. And time.
GG.
GG.
Yeah, the Blood Sword makes really, really short work of that one. Really happy with that time too.
Yeah, it looks like your final time was 2:22. Let me just
It's one of the better
double
times I
check.
have. So, despite the fact that I was, let's see, almost 6 minutes ahead at Dreadnought, I continued to bleed time, and I fell behind during the Emperor Gauntlet fight. So I'm about 2 minutes off my PB at this point.
What was your final time?
I have 2:22:12 on my timer.
Yeah, that's I'd say that's pretty accurate.
That's extremely good
Yeah.
That's
for a
pretty good.
marathon.
Yeah.
That's really good for a marathon.
Meanwhile, I'm just experiencing some minor slowdown here.
Not at all. Dell just wants to show us what other encounters you might run to on these last couple of floors here.
Mm-hmm.
A question from the chat: do people do no Bloodsword runs of this? I don't think so. That would be an interesting challenge, but it would also greatly complicate the final fight, because I know that the Emperor has a very, very powerful drain attack. So if you
Yeah.
prolong that fight, he can continue to heal himself and just keep prolonging the fight even longer. And he is no slouch when it comes to dealing damage. I think I remember watching Bowie the Hero do a stream on release and trying it without the Bloodsword, and it looked like a real pain in the butt. I mean, certainly not desired if you're intending to speedrun it, but a no Bloodsword category would be very interesting routing challenge.
That's true. I probably want to try. Yeah.
We've also been kicking about the idea of a 100%, which would be all the achievements, but I don't think anybody's done that one yet.
So I just failed to run. Was it 4 times now? And guy just got warped out of existence. And I somehow made it out.
Wow, nice save on that fight.
Yeah. Clutch.
There's requests in the chat for audio switch if that's somehow possible.
Yeah, we didn't know which of our feeds was actually being used for the broadcast.
Yeah.
So if someone else can switch that,
Ah,
that would
yeah.
be appreciated.
I'll go ahead and put it in the Discord.
Making my way through the last few floors myself. Was it like 3 floors left? 3, 4? Yeah, about 4. Oh, this is the ambush you were talking about earlier, huh? This time now it's yeah. Not a whole lot of luck on my side.
Oh yeah, That's an awful ambush, because that's almost certainly a game over unless you're incredibly lucky.
Yeah, no, I was clearly wasn't. Oh, let's do some quick save just in case.
While this is wrapping up, I would like to give a special shout out to Zaibatsu, who I believe is commentating on the Japanese restream. When we were first doing routing for this game, he came up for the basis of the route that we are currently using, where I tried to do a run based on like the strategies that I would normally use in PSP, and it took me a long time to adjust to that and cut things down. I think my first attempts were something around the 3 hour and 30-minute mark, and then he posted I believe it was a 2 hour 47 run that like completely blew ours away, and then served as the basis for how we've been refining the route from that point. And so big shout outs to him. And a lot of the Japanese runners have been using some very interesting strategies. They didn't seem to be as all in on many of the strategies we were using, which included teleport, so they were trying to find much more reliable ways to get through some of the mid-game boss fights like the Bighorns and Chimeras.
Yeah, I believe the person that actually started using that Sage Wisdom and Saint Spirit strat, I believe it was Koshima, but I don't remember. But shout out to him as well.
There was him. I think there was Nanara, was some of the other runners we've been seeing.
All the Japanese runners, pioneers of this game for sure.
Yeah, it's been very fascinating to watch the different strategies that people have come up with to go fast on this. And I mean, I don't think this is optimized by any means. It's like people started to hit a wall around the 220 mark.
I'm coming up on my final fight as well, in case I don't get ambushed. Oh, I got a preemptive, so
nice.
This is pretty much one. So time's coming up soon, very, very soon. And time.
Excellent. That was correct. Yeah, GG for both of you guys, deln and Poorscythe. Excellent runs, man. Excellent runs. Deln, your final time was 2:28.54, so just under 2:29.
I'll take it. Seeing how bad my luck was this whole run, it was
they
fun.
rolled over you there a little bit, but you caught up.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah, what an excellent game. If you have, you can post those discords in the chat now if you wanted to for the
oh yeah,
sure. I'll link find that.
The graphical glitches. But we thank you very much for your runs, guys. That was a really good showing.
Well, thank you guys for having us. It's an honor to be able to show this for, I think, the first time at a really major marathon. Admittedly, it only came out about 3 months ago, so but we'll continue to keep playing this and working on this. I mean, by no means do I think 218 is the low point for this. So, I mean, we'll keep working at it, I'm sure. I'm going to post that now in the chat. So if you want to join, what was it? I believe it's called the VG Research and Modding Discord. I'm posting a link you can use in chat here. And it has all sorts of fun casual mods you can use to modify the font and other features of many of the PC Final Fantasy options. Just be aware that if you are planning on speedrunning the Pixel Remaster specifically, font modifications, and actually all modifications are kind of disallowed under the current rules. We may revisit that at some point in the future, but that is the current thing. But there's nothing stopping you from having fun with the modifications on your own time.
Alrighty, well, thanks again, everybody. And I have one final donation from Zenith Rio. It was $100, and they said, here to support a good cause. I'd like to run the split 50-50 this donation to what incentives they would like to see happen. And in that scenario, Poorscythe chose the Super Boss for the Chrono Trigger run, and deln chose the anime cutscenes for the Chrono Trigger run, which I am also still supporting to get both of those challenges met. So, as always, thank you guys for donating. We really appreciate every single donation, no matter how small or how large. It all supports NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness, grassroots program in mental health that advocate to getting better and getting healthy, especially in these times. We need it. So please keep those donations coming in. Next up, you're going to have Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. And it's looking like, unless somebody actually snipes $500, it's looking like you're going to place Aqua's story in that run. So thanks, everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Thank you.